Hey, my name is Aaron White. I'm a real estate agent here in Katy, Texas, and today we are going to be talking about loans. How to get you pre-approved for a loan, which is much better than getting pre-qualified for a loan. We're also going to be talking about how to shop for different vendors, what kinds of questions you should be asking for, etc., to make sure that you find the best terms for you and also set you apart from the other people making offers on the same house that you like, to make sure that your offer gets accepted over theirs. Okay, so before we even get into some of the questions, I want to talk the difference about pre-qualification and pre-approval of a loan. A pre-qualification letter looks like a pre-approval letter, but the main difference is that the lender has not verified a lot of the information that they need to say, yes, we know this person, they are legit, they have the money in place, they have everything lined up, and we've done all of our due diligence as the bank to confirm that we are ready to move forward with this person. So pre-approval is that. You have seen their financials, you have seen their information, and that will get you a much better chance of getting an offer accepted. Of course, a cash offer would always be the best chance of getting accepted. And then if you want to refinance later, you could do that. But not everyone has the cash, so that's why they have pre-approval letters. Pre-qualification letters simply say, hey, we've had a conversation, we've ran a credit check, and we believe that this person has the means to purchase this property. It's not as solid footing when making an offer. So when you make an offer, I always push my clients to get that pre-approval work. It's a little more paperwork that you're gonna need to give the lender in order to make sure that you're approved, but you can gather it all together and have it set. You'll need IDs, you'll need bank statements, W-2s, tax returns, and they may ask you for various loan balances or loan statements that they see that pull up on your credit report, right? So those are the things to get together. I personally would shop multiple lenders. If you didn't know a lender that you knew you wanted to move forward with, then that will help you get the best rate. And that brings us to our next question. Many of you have heard from other lenders that if you shop multiple lenders, that it impacts your credit score. So if your credit score gets hit multiple times, it does, in fact, lower your credit score. However, there is an exception to that. Usually, within 14 days or 2 weeks from the time you make your first credit pull with one lender, you can do the same request with other lenders, and that shows up as one credit pull on your credit history, right? So it doesn't dock you down points necessarily for doing multiple lenders. So it doesn't hurt to shop 2, 3 lenders just to see what's out there and see the pricing available in the market. There can be a lot of differences. So let's talk about those differences. What are the differences we need to be looking at when we're shopping lenders, right? You want to look at several things. One, what are the fees that the lenders are charging you? A lot of those may be called points. There may be additional fees. It's important to understand those. And the easiest way to look at that in a side-by-side comparison is something we call APR. You may be quite familiar with an interest rate, what an interest rate is. Maybe your loan is 5%, 6%, 8%. But APR also works those one-time fees into the price of that interest rate that it's comparing, so it comes out a little bit higher. So for example, if a loan is a $100,000 balance on the loan at an 8% interest rate, that's an 8% interest rate. Now, when you look at the APR, if they charge you 2 points, and points in lender's language is simply 2% of the total sum of that, that's $2,000. Now the APR on that would be 8.16%, making it obviously a little bit higher than the 8%. That takes a look at the total cost of that loan. If it were 3 points or 5 points, you would then see that APR percentage be higher than the 8.16%. So an easy way to ask lenders what their fees are and not make sure that you're not missing 1 or 2 or 3 of those fees that they maybe slide in there is, what is the APR that we're looking at with the loan that you're proposing, right? And that'll get that ball rolling in terms of finding a lender that gives you a good rate. So let's talk about credit and something called DTI. How does it impact your loan? Credit score, very simply put, the more times you pay your bills regularly, credit cards, all those kinds of things, those will impact ultimately your score that you have, that you're pulling with the lender, the percentage rate that you get. Also, it could impact the points or upfront fees that you might have to pay, depending on that credit risk that they profile, your credit score to be, right? The other things are DTI, that's your debt to income ratio. And this is something that lenders will use and talk to you about. It's really how much debt you have, what percent of your total monthly income goes towards paying your current debts. And they'll look at that as they assess your file. So keep that in mind, some good language to understand as they're talking with you and engaging with you. And last of all, what will your lender need from you? We already covered a little bit of this. They're going to need a number of different documents, bank statements, W-2, etc., to ensure that they know that you can pull through on the transaction. I would recommend, this is the tip with the documents, you pull a lot of these documents together, and I'll leave a little list of documents here in this bottom of this YouTube video. Pull all those list of documents together into folders. That way, when you're taking them to multiple lenders, you're not going to the bank each time to get the statement for this, get the statement for that, and so on and so forth. It'll make your life so much simpler when getting your documents ready to get you your pre-qualification or your pre-approval letter. Hope that helps, and I'll see you at the closing table.